What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel and welcome to my CBR1000RR Black Edition. Today we're going to take this on what might potentially be the last ride that I have on this bike, because I stupidly decided to replace it with a Superduke, which is currently not working, so already I'm regretting my decision. The only reason why I ever even contemplated replacing this absolute wondrous beast of a bike is because I have the back of an 8-year-old woman. This is the friendliest thing you'll ever ride. And I'm sorry, for road use, you want friendly. You don't need the big stats on your bloody dyno graph to go and dick swing when you go see your mates at the pub.
Look at this dyno graph.
This bike will make you a faster rider. Okay, that's enough fangirling now. Let's hop on. I will further illustrate to you in a practical manner why this is the best 1000cc inline 4 Japanese bike for road use. If you are looking for a 1000cc sports bike for the road, please at least go and test ride one of these. The reason I say that is because everything that's great about my SP, my 2017 CBR1000RR SP, everything that's great about that is adjacent for track riding. On the road, it's actually like a little bit uncomfortable and a little bit more pitched, and it's got the Öhlins, so it's a harder ride. With this, being a 2016 model, you don't get the electronics, you don't get all the faff associated with these newer sports bikes, but what you do get is an extremely good road bike. It is just so impeccably good at what it does. I haven't ridden this on the track, nor did I have any indication of doing so. I've got other bikes for that.
I'm kind of a big deal.
This has solely been my road bike, and I really have, as I mentioned, thoroughly enjoyed it. It's comfortable. The actual riding position is so good. Your handlebars aren't too far away and they aren't too low. The tank's quite big, so you literally just settle nicely into it. You really do feel like you're part of the bike. The suspension is tough enough that through corners it's still agile and it's still quite stable. But at the same time, you know, I can roll over bumps and potholes, and you know, whilst I am putting some weight on my feet at the moment, you just don't feel them as much. Very good bike, and it's so easy. It is so easy, and the power is just brilliant, and it's lovely, and you've got mid-range, you've got top end. Oh, why am I selling it? I do not know. Thanks to this Woolwich map, it just jumps to attention. You know, not like a V-twin in that sort of brutality way, but you just pick it up and off you go. Simples. What more do you want? I have mentioned this in a previous video that I think the Honda CBR range does kind of get overlooked and overshadowed, and that is because nowadays it's just so customary to have all these electronics associated with you know, like traction control, ABS, anti-wheelie, this, that and the other. This has none of that. It is a bike with 2 wheels, handlebars and a throttle, and I love it. The sound is just demonic. That was my only niggle when I first got this. The stock exhaust system is so oh, it's awful. It looks awful. The valves open at like a really weird time as well, so like you just constantly get this like shut and opening sort of airy noise quite a bit. Very poorly explained, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. And yeah, it was very restrictive exhaust system, and really weighty as well. You do shave quite a bit of weight. Moving on to something else like this titanium race fit's freaking sick. It looks amazing, sounds very good. It's just loud, so loud. Oh my god! It just goes on and on forever! Sadly, the roads don't. With this, it's just this like consistent linear surge all the way through the rev range, and then when you get to like 9-10, then you just get this little extra poke of power that just makes you, you know, fall in love with it all over again. Referring back to when I said this had a stock exhaust on it, I did all the running miles on this bike completely stock, so it wasn't mapped or anything either. And I did find that the map really did spice things up quite a lot, and also it just ironed out a couple of flat spots that I did initially notice. But at the end of the day, you know, all these bloody emissions laws and whatnot, they're all coming after us with regards to exhaust and everything. So oh, you see, you get f***ing like that. F*** off. Buddy, I've never got on with a bike as well as I've got on with this, and I've been fortunate enough to ride and own a fair amount of bikes. Oh man, if I had kept this, I would have gone for a quick shifter. I would have gone Translogic quick shifter. I haven't actually changed the air filter in here. Initially, when I did the map, I was going to get that done, but I ordered the wrong one, as usual. Other than that, tyres, I would have just got suspension set up a little bit more dialed in for me, and yeah, I would have got some nice sticky tyres, because I'm still on the Dunlop Sport Maxes that they come with. And you know what? I usually never deviate away from Pirelli or Metzeler, and it's always the, you know, the stickiest ones available. And I've actually found these to be quite good. I really do want to be objective with this bike, because, you know, if people currently watching this are considering one, I want to be able to tell you the full story about it. But for me, it has been perfect, and it hasn't let me down at all, man. Like, okay, I ran the battery flat-ish not too long ago. We just charged it back up and off we went. Haven't had a single problem, single niggle. It still looks just as good as the day I got it. I like all the switchgear positioning. I like the handlebar position as well. You know, it's just all around super comfortable. The only thing I could possibly mention is for the really much taller riders, I'm just under 5'6". If you're 6 foot and above, you might feel a little bit cramped. I don't know if rear sets would fix that. I mean, most of the time people put rear sets on because they want to raise it. But yeah, I mean, because I find it just such a nice snug position, I can imagine anyone who's much taller than me getting on here, you're going to feel a little bit claustrophobic. It's interesting though, because when you put this next to the 2017 model, which I luckily have to be able to make a comparison to, this bike looks like it just sits so much taller and it's so much wider, but then when you get on it, it rides so small. Right, this is where this bike comes alive. Sorry, I just went into my own little world there. And you know what, hey, like when these were new, these CBRs were actually on the cheaper end of the spectrum, comparably with the likes of R1s, S1000RRs, Ducatis, you know, all the competitors. And even now, I mean, if you've got a 2012 model, and the 2012 didn't have too many lesser differences than the 2014s and 2016s. You pick them off like 5-6 grand. It's ridiculous. Now, as I said, I am selling this, and I've currently got it up for 9.5, and I'm getting hits on it. So I priced it to market, and it wasn't too high, it wasn't too low. But it just goes to show, because I picked this up for, I think it was like just under 10 and a half, and I've had it nearly 2 years. I think it's bang on 2 years now. So that means in the space of 2 years, I would have lost like, what, maybe 800 quid? Grand? And honestly, the way it makes me feel every time I ride it, it's probably the best £1,000 I've ever spent.
I'm gonna miss you, buddy. As far as the last ride goes, I couldn't have asked for a better one. That was a lot of fun. It really is such a great bike. Spent the rest of the day detailing it, getting it looking as good as the day I bought it. This bike really is immaculate, hey? I mean, you'll know in light like this, it is like a mirror. Also did the chain. I cleaned it all up and I done the tire pressures. So ready for the next owner to hopefully enjoy it as much as I have. It's just such a good looking little bike. This isn't a shameless sales plug. Like, you know, bikes like this, they sell themselves, but nah. Love this little guy. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for coming on this last little journey with me, and fingers crossed we can get my Superduke to work, because as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it does not want to start, so we'll investigate that together. As usual, thank you so much for watching. Catch me in the next one. If you've got a couple seconds, please like and subscribe. I mean, it is free and it takes 2 seconds, and it makes me feel very nice inside. Cheers. Bye. Oh my.